From Harrison Ford making his MCU debut as Thunderbolt Ross to Liv Tyler returning to the screen after more than a decade, Captain America 4 is shaping up to be a very exciting movie. I mean, the new set photos revealing all the characters have everybody excited. Will Betty Ross play a larger role in the film beyond just being the daughter of the president? Or will Thunderbolt Ross be the villain the new Captain America never thought about?
Where do you guys meet? Where do you and Captain America meet in the first scene?
At a disco.
Wow. So
Yeah.
is this a modern or is this a
No, it's a flashback.
Wow. Studio 54?
Yeah.
Everybody has a feeling that this movie is going to be epic. So let's talk about what the set photos tell us. Apparently, Sam Wilson will be attending someone's funeral. Now, I don't know about you, but that's got my heart racing. So, who could it be? Well, we can see Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson attending a military funeral. Not only that, but we see him injured and wearing a sling ring like Doctor Strange. This is a surprising development. Think about it. This could mean that Sam is going to face some serious challenges involving the mystical arts. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The photos also show Liv Tyler reprising her role as Betty Ross after 16 years. This suggests that whoever passed away was important and could potentially have connections to both Sam and Betty. But more on that later. So, who could have passed away?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's so insane. You never know what to expect, and there's so many people out here, and it's not often you get to be in a movie that you know that's going to be accepted well. So you just have to roll with the punches, you know?
Well, there are a few possibilities. Some fans speculate that it could be Thunderbolt Ross, especially with Betty's presence at the funeral. But it could also be the MCU's new president of the United States in Thunderbolts. Or it could be Steve Rogers himself, since he didn't get a proper funeral in the Infinity War. Not to mention, he's been MIA since Avengers Endgame.
Steve, given demands, he's more of an ally, more of a companion to Steve. He has more input on the missions and what's going on. And, you know, my main goal over the past 3 movies has been to find Bucky. So now that I've found him, is just trying to nurture a relationship between the metal arm guy.
As we know, New World Order is a Captain American movie. So what better way to end Steve's story than to have him properly pass the mantle on to Sam? Regardless of who's passed away, it's clear that the funeral scene will be a turning point in the movie. It will likely be the climax of the film, considering Sam's injury in the photo. Either way, it'll be interesting to see how the scene fits into the rest of the plot. But what about Liv Tyler? Why did the MCU decide to bring her character back after more than a decade?
You asked him if he'd ever hit on any of my friends, and he said...
Yes, Cameron Diaz.
And he told the story, which he said how it happened in London, but it happened in New York. His memory is very interesting, because he remembers little bits, but not everything.
Well, I'm sure the studio realized that fans have been waiting for years to see her grace our screens. So, naturally, fans are just grateful that beloved old characters are coming back. Now, you might be wondering what Betty Ross has to do with Captain America. After all, she's most closely associated with the Hulk, right? Well, the thing is, Captain America New World Order is taking some surprising cues from the Incredible Hulk. This means we're going to be seeing some familiar faces popping up. And get this, not only will Liv be reprising her role as Betty Ross, but we're also going to be seeing the leader as the villain. And if that wasn't exciting enough, remember the new US president in the MCU I talked about? Well, we'll also be getting Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates his new position, especially when he inevitably comes face to face with our boy Sam. But wait, there's more. Rumor has it that Ford's character might also play a role in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. In the comics, Ross is part of the team, so it's not completely out of the conversation. While nobody knows for sure what his involvement will be, everybody's crossing their fingers that we'll get to see him in action beyond just being the Prez. And let's not forget about Tyler, who's reprising a role as Ross's daughter Betty.
Do you have happy memories of making that movie?
I do have very happy memories of making that movie. It was a very, it had never been done before, making 3 movies at once.
Right.
Either way, it looks like Captain America New World Order is serving as a soft sequel to The Incredible Hulk, and I'm here for it. As the filming of Captain America New World Order continues, I'm sure we'll get even more tidbits about Ross's storyline. All I know is that with both the Ross in the mix, things are going to take a turn. I mean, we've been wondering for years if both of them would ever be in the MCU. We were left with so many questions about Betty Ross after The Incredible Hulk, and it felt like she'd been forgotten for for a long time. But Marvel Studios is making a conscious effort to reclaim the Incredible Hulk's place in the MCU, and we're finally getting some answers. We've already seen William Hurt reprise his role as Thunderbolt Ross before he passed. Abomination made an appearance in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and the She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Things are going to get interesting now with all these old characters back in the mix. Not to mention, it looks like we're going to be getting some much-needed closure on her character. We might even get to see her reunite with the Hulk. Overall, I think I speak for everyone when I say that fans could be more excited about Liv Tyler's return. It's been a long time coming, and we're thrilled to see what her role in Captain America New World Order will be. One thing's for sure, with the success of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, Captain America 4 is one of the most highly anticipated movies of the next phase.
Did you do any research in that regard?
I did. I read and watched a lot of videos online. And there's this mutual understanding I've learned, I guess, between other soldiers. Like, you've seen stuff that the normal person hasn't seen.
It's no wonder that fans are analyzing every detail they can get their hands on. Fans are even caught up with the fact about a card that reads Captain America and the Winter Soldier. This all but confirms that Sam has fully accepted his role as the new Cap we'll see in this final episode. But wait, does this mean Steve Rogers is gone for good? Well, not necessarily. Chris Evans' beloved character did survive the event of Endgame and went back in time to be with Peggy Carter. And, according to the actor himself, it's not out of the realm of possibility. In an interview with comicbook.com, he even talked about how it's something people would love to see. You never know what's going to happen, but thankfully there's still hope. What we do know for sure is that this new movie will be a part of Phase 5 of the MCU. I mean, Marvel boss Kevin Feige did announce at San Diego Comic-Con in July 2022, this revealed that the movie is set to come out in 2024, just a few months before the Thunderbolts hits theaters. So, what can we expect from Captain America New World Order?
Being an actor in a Marvel film is a truly life-affirming experience because most people don't have the opportunity to be completely surrounded by and indulge in the feeling of people actually loving them.
Well, apart from the funeral we talked about earlier in the video and Liv Tyler coming back, there's some information that confirms the movie will see Sam Wilson teaming up with some unexpected allies. One of those allies could be none other than Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan has even shown interest in a team-up between Sam and Bucky. I mean, the man told Collider that he hopes so because he loves working with Mackie. Not only that, but we also know that the movie will be played by Tim Blake Nelson as the leader. All in all, it sounds like Captain America New World Order will be a movie that Marvel fans won't want to miss.
It's, both of them are veterans coming home from war, having loved a fellow soldier and lost him in battle. So they have a common kindred spirit.
With a star-studded cast and a storyline that promises to be thrilling and emotional at the same time, it's sure to be one of the biggest movies of 2024. So grab your popcorn and your Marvel merchandise. We're in for a wild ride with new and old characters back in action. Well, that's it from me about everything we know about Captain America 4 from the set photos.